Good morning. All right, this video is going to go over what you did yesterday and help intro you into what you're going to be doing today. Now, the first one you should have already known. We've already talked about it multiple times. Newton's second law of motion. It has to do with that equation of force equals mass times acceleration. It's the idea that there is a relationship between the force required to move an object with a mass to make it accelerate. The more massive an object, the more force you must apply in order to make it accelerate. And like we said, you've been using that formula of F equals mass times acceleration. Now, number 3 was just asking you to give an example in real life that would represent the second law. So if you have to kind of imagine two different objects, okay? One's going to have a more mass than the other. So one example for this would be it would require more force to accelerate a bowling ball because it has a larger mass than it would to accelerate a cotton ball because it has a smaller mass. So here's kind of the math to show you. If the top one's a bowling ball and it has a much bigger mass than the cotton ball that, let's pretend it has 1 kilogram of mass, and we're going to pretend that we're going to make them accelerate, but we're going to make them go the exact same acceleration of 1 meters per second squared. If we're solving for force, in order to make that bowling ball accelerate the exact same acceleration as a cotton ball, which 1 times 1 is 1, you need 1 Newton to make something with 1 kilograms of mass to accelerate 1 meters per second squared. If you want to make a bowling ball accelerate that exact same amount as that cotton ball there, you would have to do 100 times 1, which means you need a force of 100 newtons. The idea here is you must apply a larger force to an object that has a larger mass. Okay? So another example could be like you have to apply a greater force to accelerate a water bottle that is filled with water than one that is not filled with water, because the one with water has a larger mass than the other one does. So basically you're just comparing two items and you need more force to accelerate the one that has a larger mass. All right, number 4 is just a simple math problem. So a bowling ball with a mass of 46 kilograms accelerates at 2 meters per second squared. So that's the two they give you, and it just wants to know what is the force. So all you have to do is plug it in. So a mass of 4, an acceleration of 2, what is the force? So it says right here, 4 times 2, that would be 8. So the answer is 8, and we want it in force, so it's going to be newtons, 8 newtons. Number 5 says a ball is hit with a force of 135 newtons and accelerates at a rate of 5 meters per second squared. What is the mass of the ball? So it's given you the force and the acceleration. So force is 135. So that goes under the F. Acceleration is 5, so that goes under the A. And you're solving for mass. So in order to get m by itself, you divide both sides by 5. M equals 27. And it's under mass, so the unit for mass is kilograms. So it should be 27 kilograms, which is 617.4, and it's in newtons, so it needs to be N, okay? So 617.4 newtons. All right, the Zoom password for today is RU if you need to get a hold of me. Once again, it'll be around 11. Now, number 7 is saying, what is Newton's third law? Now, here's the newer one. This is the law that says that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Basically, if you hit something, it hits you back with the same force. Okay? So when a paintball hits your back, not only does the ball explode and paint goes everywhere, but you end up with welts on your back. Why is this an example of Newton's third law? It's because when the ball hits you, okay, you get welts on your back. That's it hitting you. But you hit the ball right back, and that's the reason why it explodes and paints. If the paintball wasn't getting hurt, it would never have exploded. And if you didn't get hurt, you never would have gotten a welt. So the equal opposite reaction is that the ball hits your back, but your back hits the ball. Okay? 9 says take 2 pictures of examples around your house that represents Newton's third law. You can do anything here. Okay, you could do a picture of what it looks like you punching a wall, like your fist up against a wall. Don't do the examples I say, by the way. I'm just giving you more. I don't want you just copying me. But if you were to punch the wall would punch you back. You could put a hole in the wall. That would be you punching it. But the wall could break your fist. Okay, people have broken their bones before from punching the wall. If I were to drop a glass, oh, don't do that when you want to take a picture of that. If you were to sit on a chair, okay, just your butt sitting on a chair, not only are you pushing on the chair, but the chair is pushing back on you. All right, eventually that chair might break. That's from the force of your butt. But you might notice that your butt goes numb after a while. It's because that chair is putting a force on your butt. All right, which is cutting off your circulation. Another example would be like a high five. Okay, if you high five your friend, both of your hands sting. You hit their hand, but their hand hits you back. So those are examples of Newton's third law. What you're going to be working on today is actually a review of all 3 laws. So you're going to find that there are questions about just basically tell me what are the equations. So that's going to be like 1 and 2, 3 is the equation you've been using, and 4. So that's just straight out what are the laws, okay? Then what you're going to start seeing is I'm going to want you to start going around your house and taking pictures of what would explain these laws. Kind of like what you did on homework last week, where some of you put like your phone on the counter and took a picture of just your phone and said this is an example of Newton's first law because it's an object at rest and it will stay at rest unless something touches it. Some of you also did some really good examples of like chapstick rolling. I know it's a picture. You just have to explain in the picture that this chapstick is rolling and it will continue to roll unless a force is applied to it. Stuff like that, okay? So if you have any questions, just email me that password that I gave you earlier on this video, and I'll help you out if you need it. But the plan is for tomorrow, you're going to be having either a quiz or a test. You need to make sure that when you do that test or quiz tomorrow, that you turn it in on time, okay? Because I'm going to be taking off either 5 or 10% for every day that it's late because it's an assessment, all right? So just let me know if you need any help on anything. I'm here for you if you need me. Have a great day.